So, I was gonna try to make another one, but I was gonna do it off of Tanner Brongard, but instead I was like, no, I'm not. So, I'm gonna do a story based off of My Grateful. The reason behind where I'm gonna do one off of My Grateful is because I think it's time. I actually have it in a new book that I'm doing. It's called Anything Everything, and it's for a very special person in my life, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about her in this story that I'm going to share with you guys. So, this is going to be chapter 5 in my book. This was a day where my whole life was stopped, but my whole world got scared. This was the worst moment in mine and Denise's life. I want every person who knows now that I'm okay. I'm kind of okay today, but this still hurts. Only because I knew that right then and there, when this happened, my life wasn't okay. So, the story happened April 8th, 2015. This is like any normal day. Morning went by fantastic, day was good. My ex, which is Denise, she took off to school that morning, and she came home and she had to hang out with her friends before she was getting ready to go. Later on that night, as soon as I get back home, my dad and my little sister take off to go to Awana's in Richland, and my mom stays home with my little sister Grace, and Denise is off hanging out with her friends. And I went and told my mom, I said, hey, why isn't Denise coming over to pick me up? I got into an argument with my mom, and I was peeved off. I was pissed. And my mom said, well, you're not hanging out with Denise because you're not going to youth group. Well, I was pissed off. I was mad, and I didn't want to deal with my mom, so I took off. And took off down to the church. When I got down to the church, I noticed she wasn't there, so I turned around, and on my way back, I get up to the overpass. If you live in Pasco, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But you'll get to the overpass up in Pasco, up on Court Street. There was a guy, the CEO of Enterprise Car Company. He ended up paying attention to his phone, and I was going across, and I had the right of way to go across, and he hit me. And I was pedaling my bike, of course. And I stood up on my bike. I flew off. My glasses fell off my face. My glasses broke. I ended up landing in the middle of the road, got myself up, landed myself on the sidewalk, not this side, but this side of the sidewalk, as the cars were coming this way. And I was crying, was freaking out. The guy was nice enough to get out of his car. He came up to me, and he started talking to me. He asked me, he said, hey, you okay? Do you want me to call the ambulance? What do you want me to do? He called the cops, told the cops. Cops came up to me. Cops asked for my ID. I couldn't really do much. And I just basically told him it's in my back pocket. I basically couldn't even move my arms. But I did anyway, moved it out and told him it was in there. Of course, I had a special wallet at the time where you just pulled it out of the front of my wallet. And at the time, I had a necklace on my neck that had Denise's name and her phone number on it. And I just pointed to my necklace, and I said, I just couldn't say much. I couldn't even do much. All I wanted to do was cry, and I was freaking out, and I just kept pointing. He said, do you want me to call a number on the phone? So I called, of course, tell him, yeah. And I shook my head. So he calls her about 3 different times. Cop's talking to him. He stops calling her. And cop says, do you want the ambulance to come? And I said, yes. Of course, the fire department comes in Pasco. It's stupid, in my opinion. The fire truck comes with the ambulance. So the ambulance comes, the fire truck comes, there's police officers, 3 police officers. There was one guy, I still don't know this guy's name to this day. I just find this cool. He went and he asked me, he said, hey, do you got God in your life? And I said, yeah. And he just started praying over me, and I was happy that he did. I get put in the back of the ambulance. My bike ended up going into the back of the guy's squad car, shut up originally, gave the guy a ticket, took my bike home to my parents' house. Denise showed up at my parents' house at the same time the cops showed up. She gets out of the car. She's walking on the side. My mom opens the door. Cops said, hey, where can we put this? while I'm being taken to the hospital in Pasco. And from there, while that's going on, my mom forces the keys out of Denise's hand. I didn't want my mom there. I wanted Denise there. I kept calling Denise over and over and over again. On my way to the hospital, I asked the dude, I said, hey, can I call somebody? So all that was going through my head was Denise, which to this day it sounds weird, but it's not. I just kept calling her and calling her and calling her and wanting to talk to her. Finally, she picked up the phone. I told her, I said, hey, I want you here, I want you here. And I was crying. She said, I can't. And she kept saying, hey, I can't, I'm sorry. It broke me into pieces when she told me that. I told her, I said, why can't you be here? She said, your mom took the keys out of my hand and took off, and I have to stay here with the baby. I was pissed. But I just wanted her here. Every time she wasn't there, I'd just cry and I'd freak out. That continue. My mom finally showed up. I told my mom, I said, I didn't want you here. I wanted Denise here. My mom didn't even seem to care. It didn't even matter to her, but I was pissed off about it. I get into x-rays. They x-rayed my foot on my left and right side. My left side foot, my right side knee. I ended up having a concussion 3 days later after the situation. And I went up to Boise and this all happened. This happened in the Tri-Cities, and I went to Boise the next day and ended up finding out that I had a concussion while I was in Boise, Idaho. Not even anywhere near Tri-Cities. But that was over. I went home. Denise heard us show up. She came outside. She was like, do you need help? I just told her, I said, get the door, be there for me. She was texting her mom. Her mom wanted to know. Her mom, her dad, both her sisters, everybody from church was praying for me. My own parents were praying for me. There was a lady and her kids who came to the hospital. Her name was Aliva. She prayed over me. There's all these people praying for me. And I was happy that all these people were praying for me. That night, I didn't want Denise going anywhere. I wanted her to stay. I didn't let her get but 2 feet without wanting to know what she was doing. And I just wanted her, and every time she'd be out of my sight, I would just cry. The previous that night, when my parents were asleep, I went and Denise laid right next to me. It was a big, I'm going to say, gaming chair. Not a gaming chair, but a football chair for 2 people. It literally fits 2 people. She laid right next to me, and I went and told her, I said, don't leave me. And she told me, she said, I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to be right here. And she stayed with me the whole entire night. She turned the movie off for me. I couldn't even move. I couldn't do anything. And all she said is, I'm going to be here. I wish I was there for you. I wish I would have never given your mom the keys. She just told me all of these things. And I'm going to give this to you guys, and I'm going to end this video. Sorry, it's just a little bit fast. I don't have my camera, unfortunately. I want you guys to know something now, okay? I found that a test from God if we're really meant to be together. And I know that we're still meant to be together, but her parents, everybody thinks that we're not. But I could just tell you this. If I would have died that day, she probably would be heartbroken. She'd probably be depressed. She would be hurt. And I just can't tell you enough of the amount of times that I'm still sitting here saying that I'm grateful that I'm still alive. I'm grateful that I'm where I am today. I want you guys to know, if you got that somebody out there that you want there with you if something traumatic happens, have them be there with you. I'm going to call this my grateful, as you guys can tell, if that's the title. But I want you guys to know, you guys personally to know, that it doesn't matter what happens. Just know that life is going to be okay. You're going to have all these struggles. But that's my grateful story that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you guys like this. That's all I got for you guys today. Tomorrow I'm going to upload who my third person is. I was going to do it tonight, but I'm too tired and I'm going to go to bed. Good night. I see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.